Long before the first warp drives hummed, the void had predators. They were not animals, not civilizations, but hungers. Ancient empires fell without a sound, their planets stripped of thought, their fleets drifting like bones. Most species did not speak of them, because to name them was to invite their gaze. When the shadow returned, entire systems went silent. Beacons went dark, fleets vanished. But in the chaos, one name would echo in council records, whispered in alien bunkers and shouted in human barracks alike: Chan. Where Colchians are not built for terror. We study it, catalog it, put it behind glass. That is how we survived so long. At Relay K-47, I was tasked with observation. The silent hunger appeared without light. It bent the void like a lens. My colleagues collapsed, foam flecking their lips. I was seconds away from doing the same, until a human pulled me to my feet. His name was Chan. He looked directly at the shadow and did not die. His eyes watered, his hands shook, but he stayed upright. Move, he told me, as if my terror were a door to open. I fled. He did not. The last image my failing mind recorded was Chan staring into the impossible, his jaw clenched as if daring the abyss to blink first. It wasn't bravery, it was habit. The hunger whispered, and the whisper sounded familiar. Drown, burn, choke. I'd heard those voices before, in storms back on Earth, in collapsing tunnels on Luna, in fire drills where smoke filled the lungs. Fear was an old friend. My job was systems, not guns, not strategy. Wires and panels, pumps and pressure. The hunger twisted physics, but even monsters needed something to twist. I could fight it by holding reality together. I anchored shields with manual overrides. I rerouted coolant through bulkheads. When consoles screamed, I hit them until they behaved. Behind me, people lived. That was enough. The humans claimed no throne among predators, yet when I saw Chan, I knew I was looking at an equal. The hunger unmade sound. It stripped instinct. My pack whimpered, their eyes dull. I wanted to kneel. Predators do not kneel, but Chan did not kneel. He dragged a Colchian scholar to safety as if carrying a hatchling. Then he returned into the maw, into the scream. Humans fight like prey who never learned how to stop. He did not bite, he did not claw, but the way he glared at the dark, the way he stood against silence, it was dominance. I lowered my snout, not in shame, in recognition. I used to think humans were insane. Their music, their sports, their war stories, all sharpened with terror. But when the shadow came, I understood. I froze. My fur stood on end. My paws locked. Every prey instinct screamed, flee. But then Chan's voice cut through the static. Tazel, I need your paws on the auxiliary grid. Now. I moved. Somehow. I moved. His tone left no room for panic. He didn't waste words. He treated me not as fragile prey, but as a partner. Together we rerouted power, stabilizing the shield before the hunger ripped through the hull. My body shook, my mind fractured, but Chan's steady hands anchored me. Predators command by fear, prey submit by instinct. Chan did neither. He lifted. The hunger tested us. It wasn't teeth, it was questions. It wanted to know how much terror it took to break us. I answered with stubbornness. I strapped myself to the bulkhead when gravity died. I patched plasma leaks with bare gloves. When the whispers told me to surrender, I whispered back, not today. Fear stayed. It always stays. But humans don't fight by erasing fear. We fight by dragging it along until it slows us down less than the alternative. That's the trick no aliens seem to know. Reports came in fragments. Relay K-47 survived contact, a statistical impossibility. I demanded testimony. What I received were contradictions. The Venlel called Chan a leader. The Aza called him a rival. The Colchian scholar called him a savior. The logs showed him neither commanding nor conquering, only working. Wires, shields, coolant. Yet somehow, every survivor said the same thing. We lived because he stood. We had a word for predator. We had a word for prey. For the first time, we faced something that did not fit. Perhaps humanity itself was the third category. When I slept, I dreamed of the hunger. When I woke, I looked for Chan. He carried fear like a tool, slung over his shoulder. He laughed too easily, cursed too loudly, and yet, I followed him. We all did, even the Arza. One night he asked me, "Why do your people always call us predators?" I could not answer, not after what I had seen. "You're not predators," I said. "You're survivors." He shrugged. Same thing. Sometimes, they fought not with superiority, but with defiance. Humans jammed the hunger with noise, drums, static, laughter. They blinded it with fractals, burned its hide with improvised charges. And when the void screamed, Chan screamed louder. Relay K-47 survived. The hunger receded. Survivors whispered of Chan, though he claimed no glory. In the council archives, his actions were logged under a new designation, adaptive response leader, a sterile phrase for something no one else had ever done. Stand unbroken before the hunger. Among the Venlil, he became a story. Among the Arza, a rival to fear. Among Colchians, a contradiction. But to humans, he was just Chan, another engineer doing his job. And when the hunger returns, as it always does, we know who will stand first.